Okay.
Good morning. When the sun rises, it rises for everyone. This anonymous quote states that equality is the foundation of life for all human beings. Growing up, finding yourself, and the path in which you want to take in life is difficult. Most often, school and peers get in the way. As we all know, students are bullied for countless reasons. However, I think we can all agree that students are bullied most for their attempts to make themselves an individual. Clothing is one of the biggest ways a student can express themselves. Unfortunately, students' minds are often altered by the opinions of their peers. This leads to bullying, the #1 conflict in schools all across the world. To avoid bullying, school uniforms would ensure that all students wore similar clothing, but still allowed individuality, but created equality amongst all students. Resolve that Upper Dublin School District should implement the policy of school uniforms throughout the district. School uniforms can be defined as an article or articles of clothing that students wear each day. This may not mean that each student wear identical outfits, but that options are given that would allow diversity. These options would be different articles of clothing that would accommodate all body styles and fashion types. Currently, Upper Dublin has a loose dress code, prohibiting only inappropriate articles of clothing. Other public school districts, such as the Philadelphia School District, are cracking down on their dress code to terminate disruptive behavior that has been caused by clothing that students are wearing. School uniforms would give our district a huge amount of benefits. For instance, school uniforms will lower the bullying and violence rate, lower costs for families, ensure that appropriate clothing is worn by all students, and create equality amongst everyone. School uniforms will lower the bullying rate because proponents suggest that school uniforms can reduce violence in schools by diminishing gang influence and easing competition over clothing as a source of conflict. After introducing uniforms as a mandated policy, an Alabama public school reported a drop in drug incidents along with possession of weapons. I think all of us can say we have seen someone in the hallway, taken one look at their outfit, and laughed. This is a form of bullying. If uniforms are implemented, everyone will be wearing the same thing, so that form of bullying will diminish. The negative may argue that uniforms will take away individuality. Honestly, if we are only expressing ourselves through our clothing, what does that tell us about a person? Absolutely nothing. Uniforms will allow students to step away from that limit and go above and beyond to express themselves in different ways, such as the arts, athletics, or in the classroom. In addition, school uniforms will lower costs for families. In a paper presented by Michael Furman, Suzanne Smith, and Lindsay Perry at the 16th Annual Ethnographic and Qualitative Research and Education Conference, it points out that many parents strongly believe that a policy requiring school uniforms would lower clothing costs. In an article presented in the Maryland Gazette, a mother by the name of Angela Benjamin speaks about how much money she saves by buying school uniforms. She said, "How many parents can spend $130 on one child for the entire school year?" In answering my question, remember, you have to shop for the 4 seasons. Parents, how many times can you afford to buy new clothing? What does a parent have to lose in putting their child in uniform? How much time does a child spend in the morning trying to find something to wear? For the entire school year, how many times does a parent shop? How much do they spend? Remember, parents, all you need for a child are 5 uniforms for the entire school year. This woman makes a very valid point. Spending around only $130 respectively would save families the extra cash they could use for better purposes. The negative may argue that parents do not want to spend money on uniforms. However, uniforms will lead to success. What parent would not want to bring success to their child? Uniforms have proven to help students focus on education rather than appearance, and parents should strongly enforce that message. Additionally, school uniforms will ensure that appropriate clothing is worn by all students. In Palo Alto, California, a situation occurred that is very common in all public schools. A student, not very fashion conscious of course, stood up to answer a question in class, but his pants stayed down on the chair. A young boy said, "I can't remember what year it was, but I do remember laughing. Seriously though, we don't want to see people's underwear." Many administrators say teens need to learn that tube tops and muscle shirts can be distracting and are not suitable in an environment for work and learning. Uniforms will give us that leeway to wear what is appropriate but still bring out the teenager within us all. Lastly, school uniforms will create equality amongst all students. School uniforms will maintain a level of social equality amongst everyone because the concept of knowing one's social background is avoided. This is because personal opinions and first impressions are not taken at first glance by a student's outer appearance. Equality will be created because it won't matter whether a student is rich or poor. No one will know the difference because everyone will be required to wear the same thing. With the status quo, we are judging people on their outer appearance. Do we judge people on the color of their skin or their race? No. So why is it that people are still judged by their clothing? Uniforms will end this controversy. They will end the separation of cliques in high school. These 4 aspects will truly change and improve the school district. As we are transitioning into our new school, changes are needed. Too many students are being bullied because of what they wear. Too many students feel down on themselves because of their ability to keep up with the status quo. Too many students are spending hard-earned money just to keep up with the latest trend. This is all completely unnecessary. School uniforms is the answer we've all been waiting for. The key to success is right in front of us, and we must take advantage of it. With all this in mind, our district must take action. We must mandate school uniforms for the better of our students, our school, and our community. Thank you.